So, as you can see on the thumbnail, it's really bad. We get all of the usual talking points. Populist man horrible. He is like Donald Trump. Argentina is going to end dictatorship coming. Goose stepping on the streets. The end of democracy. So I had to listen to what exactly is this guy saying. Like what is happening in Argentina. Listen to this.
Y deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera. Aunque te resistas. Ministerio de Ciencia y Tecnología e Innovación, afuera. Ministerio de Trabajo, Empleo y Seguridad Social, afuera. Ministerio de Educación, Adoctrinamiento, afuera. Ministerio de Transporte, afuera. Ministerio de Salud, afuera. Ministerio de Desarrollo Social, afuera. Se acabó el curro de la política. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
Oh, so they elected a libertarian. Oh my god, the end of the world. For the politicians. Unironically, I listened to this guy speaking, and his whole point is that Argentina used to be a very wealthy nation. And now they're a poor nation, and it's self-inflicted. Like, they didn't get conquered by an enemy force. They didn't get plundered. No, they voted for left-leaning people, which created a bloated government. And through nepotism, they hired their own family within office. And they gorge themselves on the taxpayer money. And he is basically saying that this is unacceptable. The only people that are profiting from social justice are the politicians. The number of poor people in the country has increased. The inflation is skyrocketing. Like, these individuals can't stop printing money. And what he wants to do is to limit the government. Like, why is there a ministry of women and diversity when your nation is starving? And he has interesting speeches. He said that there are two types of people in the country, those that produce and those that can't. And if you take all of the people that can produce and you put us into the most impoverished place in the country, that place is still going to be rich. While if you take all of the diversity officers and all of the other progressive people and you put them in the richest part of the country, that place is going to become poor. So, this is why he's getting elected. Now, what I want to point out, right, because a lot of people are freaking out, and I have seen people crying and pissing their eyes that this gentleman has gotten to a position of power. I want to talk about, like, the mainstream left-leaning positions. Let's see. We got open borders. Anyone can come in. No background check. No trying to see if they're integrating or not. Not even trying to see if the culture that they're coming in is compatible with the nation host culture. None of those things, right? Just as many as possible. Ban gas stoves. Try to increase taxes, print money, make it difficult for people to own a car, try to ban gas vehicles before 2030, go against people having air conditioning, print more money, raise more taxes. Like, all of these things are detrimental to you as the individual. They are detrimental to your way of life. They lower the standard of living. And these are the mainstream left-leaning positions. Like, I'm not even talking about the far-left radical ones. And for some reason, when you elect a left-leaning person, everything is fine. Like, they even say that, yes, we are going to lower your standard of living. By 2030, we're going to make it difficult for you. And people vote these people into office, right? And no one is shocked. But the moment someone says, yeah, I think the government is the problem. Oh, no! Oh, let's listen to something else that this guy said.
Podés dar ni un milímetro.
¿Me podés definir zurdo de mierda que no
Todos los que,
entiendo?
digamos, los colectivistas.
I love the journalist tactic. It's sort of like, can you define? Like, what are you talking about? I have no clue. What is a leftist? This is the rhetoric of Twitter progressives for the last 5 years. It's almost like they're playing a blue deck in Magic the Gathering and they're shifting that 3 mana to cast Counterspell. Can you define? Like, what are you talking about? I love his definition. Collectivists. All the collectivists. And he even defines what a collectivist is. It's people that force you to think in a certain manner. Normally, you would encourage people to think for themselves and then make decisions based on the arguments that they have created. But in a collectivist mindset, that's not the way. You are told what to think. And if you don't think that way, you become like J.K. Rowling. Like, this is the new way you're supposed to think about women. And if you're like J.K. Rowling and you have a different idea, no. We're actually going to harass VTubers because they're playing a game and J.K. Rowling is getting royalties. Like this is the modern way of thinking. And for some reason, someone that's against this is now considered, oh wow, like look at a crazy person. So look at him defining what collectivists are.
Pero ¿me podés definir zurdo de mierda que no
Todos
lo
los que,
entiendo?
digamos, los colectivistas, los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea... A ver,
¿Por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
porque son una mierda.
I love how he responded. It's like it's so self-evident. He is even shocked that the question was being asked.
O sea,
Pero vos mezclás-
no,
pero
pero,
eso-
es que
eso
si
es
pensás,
descalifica- pero no, pero digo,
pero si
eso es
pensás distinto te van a aniquilar.
So, you know, a lot of people are saying that he is exaggerating, that if you think differently, they kill you. But this is what, actually, they don't say it, but like, through their actions, I can see that this is what a lot of people on Twitter would do if they were given power. I mean, what should happen to a person that's not politically correct? According to Twitter, what should happen to them? Well, they should lose their job. You know, education is a human right, but not for the people we don't like, so... If they're getting sacked from the university, that's a good thing. If they're getting expelled from school because they had an offensive tweet, that's a good thing, right? This is the mentality that you have on Twitter. So they should be out of a job. They shouldn't get an education. No one should hire them. So how are they supposed to live? Oh, if the banks terminate their accounts like they did to Nigel Farage, that's a good thing. They should have no social media. They should have no way to defend themselves, no way to speak in public. So basically, just find the ditch where we can't see you, and that's the end of that, right? This is the mentality that is considered mainstream among the collectivists. And when you have someone that's basically saying, no, like, we shouldn't live like this, these people are wrong, everyone is shocked, and everyone is like, oh my god, he's such a bad person.
Esa idea... A ver,
¿Por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
porque son una mierda. O sea,
vos mezclás-
no,
pero
pero,
eso-
es que
eso
si
es
pensás,
pero no, pero digo,
si
eso es
pensás distinto
descalificador.
te van a aniquilar. Ese es el punto. Es decir, vos al zurdo no le podés dar un milímetro, porque le das un milímetro y lo toma para destrozarte. Es decir, digo, o sea, vos no podés negociar con el zurdo. No se negocia. No se negocia con esa mierda, no se negocia porque te van a llevar puesto. Y como estamos siendo tan mejores que ellos, como los estamos aplastando en la batalla cultural, los estamos pasando de arriba, porque no solo le ganamos en lo productivo, somos superiores moralmente, somos superiores estéticamente, somos mejores en todo. Y les duele. Entonces, como no pueden pelear con las herramientas legítimas, se apalancan en el aparato represivo del Estado, poniendo torres de guita para hacernos mierda. Y aún así no pueden, tuvieron que bajar la nota. ¿Me entendés? Que están perdiendo.
Right, so she's not very happy about what she's hearing. I mean, you can see it on her face. She's a little bit displeased. I don't know why people compare him to Trump. This is not Trump's ideology, which goes to show how many journalists are completely clueless about politicians or politics in general. Like, they literally cannot differentiate between an anarcho-capitalist, which this guy actually is. Like, he did cosplay, dressing himself up as an anarcho-capitalist, and someone like Trump. Oh my god, the end of democracy. And the guy is like, yeah, no, we're just going to diminish the government. Like, if you want dictatorship, you want large government to be able to suppress people. He wants Chaquito God, like literally the opposite. You know, unironically, I said it on my live stream, but it's like living in a neighborhood where the mafia is in power, and the mafia asks protection money from people. And, you know, like, sometimes maybe they do something actually good. Maybe they clean up the streets from random criminals. Maybe, you know, they give some charity to the homeless. But they're still the mafia, right? And one day, some new guy in the mafia, a new Don, says, yeah, we're going to disband the organization, and everyone is freaking out. It's like, well, how can we live without the mafia? And you look at places in the United States, in liberal cities, where crime is rampant. They pass legislation to benefit criminals. Like, if you steal less than $1,000 worth of good, it's difficult for the police to arrest you. And they show that they can actually clean up the streets. When Chairman Z comes along, immediately, within a couple of days, the streets are clean up. So, like, the government doesn't even do that. Like, the bare minimum that it should do would be to make sure that crime doesn't exist so that people can run their businesses in peace without having the stores vandalized. And for some reason, if someone comes up and says, well, I mean, the government is useless anyway, let's just... Oh, no, that's horrible. Well, how can you suggest such a thing? No, that's dangerous. Regarding Argentina, it's a small nation. I generally do not expect that this man can do much, to be honest. It's very difficult to actually accomplish something when the nation has been devastated so much by greedy politicians and corrupt politicians. But it won't get any worse. I mean, he's not going to print money, at least. Probably won't tax people. I'm pretty sure that internationally, a lot of individuals will want to see him fail. Because all these politicians that are sitting in office, they have connections and they're going to ask for help. You know, the media is going to be on his ass 24/7 and all of that. But, you know, I suppose there may be some changes and we might get some entertainment out of this. If you're a person in Argentina, if you happen to work for the government, I feel sorry for you. It's going to be tough. And I'm saying this because there are people who work for the government, but they're not higher ups. They can be working at the postal office. They can be working at a public school. Yeah, your funding is going to go down dramatically. The best thing to do is going to be to work in the private sector, or if you do have money for a loan, start a business, because now may be the time. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.